Tyson Bagent gets signed by the Chicago Bears. And we all know, obviously, this is when Justin Fields was there. Bagent got some run because Fields, as we all know, hurt his hand trying to extend a football play that he shouldn't have. Long story short, Bagent shows some ability. And now Caleb Williams is there. And one is wondering, at any point in time, is Tyson Bagent maybe somebody that can get traded away? Like, do you want to keep him? Do you want to send him? And the reason why we're talking about him today is the Bears decided to not only keep him, but enrich him. Yeah. And I kind of dig this for various reasons, but certainly when we're talking about $30 million a year is not enough for player X, or $40 million a year is what got Myles Garrett to stop worrying so much about the Browns' ability to win a Super Bowl right now. 2-year, $10 million contract extension for Tyson Bagent, who then took to a podium and had this reaction to it.
Yeah, I think that, a lot of people don't know this, but, my dad is he's my right-hand man, and he didn't even have running water until he was in high school. So there's definitely a lot of things and people that I think I could certainly help with this gift I've been blessed with. But yeah, just little things like that. Like, I don't really know anybody back at home with any money. So, yeah, it feels good. I mean, it's certainly a weight off my shoulders and my family's shoulders. And yeah, it definitely means a lot.
How cool is that?
Come on, man.
Wearing it on his sleeve like that, and life-changing money. Life-changing money. 2 years, $16 million, can get up to $10 million, can get up to $16 million with incentives, but that does mean that he'd get playing time that the Bears don't really plan to have him get. That said, just hard work, dedication, Shepherd University, and working there and going to the combine and hoping for the best and going through a draft and not hearing your name called and then get your name called to the Chicago Bears. Oh, here's Caleb Williams. There's Justin Fields. There's Caleb Williams. Going to keep my head down. I'm going to keep working hard. I got a new head coach in Ben Johnson coming in. He believes in me. He saw what we saw. 2 years, $10 million for a guy from Shepherd University. Doesn't happen too often. Awesome. And congratulations to him and his dad and his family and his whole group of Bagents. That's the thumb wrestle with the pen. Well done.
Yeah, man.
Outstanding. Kevin Fishbain covers the Bears for The Athletic back here on the Rich Eisen Show, the senior writer from The Athletic. Kevin, were you in the room for Tyson Bagent for that moment?
I was, Rich, and it was pretty cool. And Tyson is always an entertaining press conference. We talked to him after the game on Sunday night, and he was great. Somebody asked him about. They said, it's kind of underrated, your athleticism, and he kind of paused and says, "How many times do you have to run before it's not underrated anymore? That I could just do it." So he's always been great to talk to, and as you just said, it's an incredible story. I mean, shoot, Rich, I remember sitting down with Tyson this summer, his rookie year, that summer, he was the number 4 quarterback in the building. He was behind Nathan Peterman, and they gave P.J. Walker a 2-year, $4.5 million contract to be Justin Fields' backup. I remember sitting down with Bagent just because, it was the first preseason game. I knew he was going to play. I just wanted to learn more about him. And then a couple weeks later, he was the number 2. They cut P.J. Walker. They ate the money. And, then they bring him Case Keenum this time. And Bagent's like, nah, I'm good. I got this. And he's just continued to assert himself. He deserves it. Everyone in the building loves the guy. And it was very cool to see that emotion yesterday.
And that's why, Keenum's presence there was the reason why. Was there ever anything to the rumors that Bagent was on the market, on the block, anything like that? Kevin?
They opened it up as it was a competition for number 2. Now, Case Keenum injured his leg a week ago, and I think that kind of has help solidify. But I remember back in the spring when Keenum got signed and you start kind of asking around about how's this all going to work. And the message from people in the building was, do not doubt Tyson Bagent. Do not think that he's not going to do everything in his power to win the number 2 job. But as you said, Rich, because of Keenum, and you know how this works, like it just, and you hate to describe it in this way, it takes one team to lose their starter to an injury to start looking around and figure out we need somebody that has shown it on tape that can do it. And, the thing about Bagent is like, Ben Johnson said it the last week, the guy knows the playbook like the back of his hand, and it's a brand new playbook for him. And he's wired the right way. And he's done it on the field. He's done it throughout the preseason. He's done it in camp. So it's a great story. And for him, what was interesting too, Rich, is he was asked to go, someone said, if you want to go be a starter, you don't sign this contract, right? Like you play this out and see what happens. And he says he recognizes that being around Ben Johnson, this coaching staff, is going to make him such a better quarterback that if that is something he can do down the line, that it'll put him in better position to do that. So, it makes a lot of sense on both sides to get this deal done.
Yeah. I mean, everyone talks about how Sam Darnold's time with Kyle Shanahan begot his opportunity with Kevin O'Connell, and now begot him this big contract with Seattle. I mean, there's so many stories like that, and obviously that's maybe part of Tyson Bagent's thinking. But that's the reason why he's the first order of business with us right now, is because of that soundbite and that press conference, and that's being covered everywhere. He crossed over into other parts of the media machines that normally backup quarterbacks don't. So that's why I wanted to start with you on that, Kevin. But the Caleb Williams performance on Sunday night, is that what we're going to see? Obviously, you don't have the answer to that, but that's the underlying question here. Is this the fire hose drinking that Caleb has been doing over the last 3 weeks with a coach who's demanding and also has a significant playbook? Is this the green shoots growing, Kevin?
Well, it was the Bills' backups, which I always have to put out there.
Yes.
But it was the Bills' backups, and Caleb looked phenomenal. Like you want to have success in that situation, and you should. It's one thing to have success. It's one thing to be dialed in the way he was and to look comfortable and poised and not escaping the pocket immediately. I thought, Rich, the first play was so telling. Just under center, play action, an easy layup to Colston Loveland. And you get a nice gain. And that's so much of what Ben Johnson wants to do. He wants to get these guys the ball in space. He wants to make things easy for Caleb Williams. Get the ball to Olamide Zaccheaus and just watch him run. Get the ball to your guys, Roma Dunze and DJ Moore, and let them do the rest. So I think you saw a little bit of that, and it was really promising to see Caleb Williams be accurate, to handle the operation well, and just build confidence. Because you know what? It is the backups, but it's the Bills' backups. That's obviously a really good team, a lot of really good players there. And as I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, that the camp has been bumpy. It's been uneven. So I think he needed it. I think the offense needed it. And yeah, the season's going to be rocky. Like it just is. It's a new playbook. They've got a really tough schedule. There's going to be some moments where where people are going to be wondering about how this is all going to work. And then there's going to be moments like you saw on Sunday night where Caleb looks really good, in part because he's got a phenomenal play caller.
Defensively, there was a bagel popped up there as well. What about that side of the football that we're clearly not focused on because Caleb Williams doesn't play on that side of the ball, Kevin?
Yeah, it's a veteran group, Rich, and you look at guys like one of the things that stood out to me in camp is Montez Sweat. Here's somebody who, when they traded for him, he came to Chicago in 2023 and earned a Pro Bowl spot. And then last year was not his year. He battled injuries and just did not put up the numbers he wanted. And he's been there every day, starting in the spring, has not missed time, no personal days, no veteran rest days, and he's been really good. He's looked really good. Tremaine Edmonds, similarly, he took a little bit of a step back in numbers last year. He's had a good camp. Jaquan Brisker missed most of last year with a concussion. He's been flying around the football. So you look at those three guys at the three levels and seeing them in Dennis Allen's scheme, I think has been really encouraging. Those are the guys that have made camp difficult on Caleb Williams and the offense. And they've done all this with Jalen Johnson still sidelined with a leg injury. And the hope still is that he's going to be back for week one. done. But I think this is kind of a underrated part of this team because I don't know how many people, obviously you're big time NFL fans, certainly know who Montez Sweat is, but I don't know how many know Jaquan Brisker. I don't know how many know how well TJ Edwards has played. Kyler Gordon's got a new contract. That's somebody that's got Pro Bowl potential at nickel. So they've got some good players there. I mean, they talk about how they want to be, top 10 unit, and they certainly have the players to do it.
Kevin Fishbain, senior writer for The Athletic, covering the Chicago Bears, joining us from Chicago for a few more minutes here on the Rich Eisen Show. Well, take me under the hood of watching Ben Johnson establish himself and his program there. What's he like? What are Bears fans? What can they expect from him, Kevin?
Bears fans love him. I mean, we're in full honeymoon phase here, Rich. Everyone is, and I'll say this: the media is in honeymoon phase too. He's been great up at the podium and giving us nice, detailed answers, which we always enjoy. And I think that seeing him on the practice field, you hear him, you see how frustrated he can get, you see how demanding he can be. He really wanted to, dispel this idea that he's this kind of whiz kid, right? Like he's an intense coach. And one of the things about him that I was trying to uncover this summer is like, why is he any different than any coach who says, I'm a details guy? Like every coach says that.
Right.
What makes Ben Johnson different? You talk to players and coaches and they talk about it's the accountability. And what he will do, I was talking to Cole Kmet about this, and Cole said there'll be a 15-yard completion, and he will sit there on the board and show one tiny split that was off and make you learn it. And he won't just say, oh, we don't need to, we'll gloss over because it was a good play. No, he will focus on it, and he will make sure that everybody understands this was a nice play, but if you keep doing this, if you keep making this mistake, we're not going to get to where we need to be. And I think the players are buying into it. The coaches all love it. Talking to GM Ryan Poles this week, he was talking about how Ben Johnson, his training camp schedule was so detailed from the beginning. And that's always a tough thing for head coaches, that like you have to build a schedule for the whole team. And that was just a little thing that Poles noticed that has really shown that this guy is just wired in the right way. And again, everybody says they're a details guy, but so far it looks like he really lives it. He breathes it. And if this team can buy into it, obviously you need to have the talent and everything. You can talk yourself into, and certainly coming off Sunday night, you could talk yourself into this thing working out, maybe not right away this year, but certainly in the long run.
Well, I mean, again, not to keep bringing up last year, but last year soon will be forgotten. To hear Cole Kmet say that there's a parsing so specific on a play that works so well offensively, to say that that's the night and day from last year is an understatement. I mean, again, we kept hearing my colleague Stacey Dales when we were there in London last year in Week 6 that they had just started instituting the first 15 scripted because the players asked for it. And they've got to be out of their skulls on the offensive side of the ball with excitement. Have to be right now.
Yeah, no, I think they're very much enjoying it. Again, it's been tough. Like the offense hasn't been as smooth as they've wanted.
Sure, but no doubt though. But still, there's a plan. There's a plan, and there's clearly an accountability that wasn't there. It just didn't appear to be there last year.
No, and I think too, like the previous coaching staff, again, they're all going to say they're on the details, but it seemed like they would kind of let things maybe slide that this coaching staff won't. They're going to make sure that it, even if it was a positive result. They're going to make sure that everybody on the team knows it. We've seen him yank the starters after a rep at practice. We've seen him stop a play to make sure they do it all over again because one guy's split is a hair off. And again, the players see it. And the other thing too, Rich, is all they have to do is look at Detroit. All they have to do is see what the Lions have done for the last 2-3 years and the points that they put up to say, oh, okay, this guy obviously knows what he's doing. Look how successful it's been there. If we can really buy into this, we could do something that Chicago doesn't score a lot of points, Rich. That's not really the Bears' thing. It never has been. So if he can get them into a situation where they're doing things, it's unfair to say doing things the Lions have done. But like again, it's rare territory here to start talking about like 30 and 40 points in a game. It's not really a franchise that's used to it.
And then to start against Minnesota at home on a Monday night, they're starting J.J. McCarthy for the first time. Coach of the Year, Kevin O'Connell, on the other side of the field. These two coaches clearly know each other. And then a trip to Detroit right after. So the pool gets deep right off the bat.
It's tough. And yeah, and look at I was thinking about this today. The quarterbacks they face on the road, Rich, Jared Goff, Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy. Those are the road quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tough. We never really know how difficult the schedule is until the season gets going, because there's always going to be the surprise teams. But look, if it goes, that's where I thought it was great that you brought up the defense, because good defenses can always be that equalizer, and that's when the Bears have had their great teams. Obviously, they've been on the back of a really good defense. You go back to 2018, and there are a lot of eerie similarities with 2018, where you have a first-year head coach with a second-year top pick at quarterback. You have a veteran defense. Now, this defense is not what Vic Fangio had in 2018, but this offense should be better than what the Bears had in 2018 when they went 12-4. That's kind of the ceiling. That's like, if everything works like it did that year when Matt Nagy's first season, and then we saw it was just a one-year thing. And, Ryan Poles has been adamant, like he wants to build consistent success. The Bears have been this, 2001 was good and then everything fell apart. And then they go to the Super Bowl in 06, and then they don't go back to playoffs until 2010. And then it takes until 2018. And then here we are in 2025. So they're just trying to string together some, stack some good seasons. And they obviously believe they have the head coach who can do it.
Kevin, you're the man. Thanks again for the quick pop on, and we'll chat again soon. Thanks again. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.